Some of you might be knowing about the incident that happened in Kampala recently. On the 15th of May, an incident occurred in Namulanda B, that is Kajjansi Town Council in Wakiso District, Entebbe Road for those ones who live in Uganda. I know this because it happened close to my house. A neighbor of mine happened to go there, and that's how I got to know about some of the details. Although I will not be able to share everything here because of the sensitivity of the case, my heart really goes out to the family of the South Sudanese children that lost their lives in the fire outbreak. And as a mother, I could not just bring myself to the fact that the mother might be going through a lot. Our prayers go out to you, and may God help you as a family to go through this tragedy, and may He comfort you as well. Now, much as this is a painful thing, I would like to draw some lessons from it to us as South Sudanese. And I want us to approach this with a lot of sensitivity, because life of young ones have been lost, and this could happen to anybody. The best we can do is to just learn from it. So what we are going to talk about here is the life lesson that we can pick for those of us who happen to live either in Uganda or Kenya. We don't have so many South Sudanese in Tanzania and Rwanda, but majority of us are in Uganda. Let me just turn this thing off. It is making a lot of noise. Yes, for those of us who are in Uganda and who are in Kenya, it is very important for us to remain united. Hi, my name is Stella Luka. I am so passionate about family, relationship dynamics, and life lessons. We are going to explore some of the things that affect us outside there in order to ensure that we better our lives. We already have a lot. We have internal pressure, we have external pressure, we are trying to make ends meet, and we are just looking for survival. That's the truth. Because imagine when this is happening, the lady and her children were in Uganda, but their father was out, probably to look for money and ensure that they are well taken care of. From what I gathered also, that they are a returnee from Sudan. They came out as a result of war, and they could not settle here. They decided to settle in Uganda, probably because of school and other things. Same as to those of us who are currently working here, and we have our children back in Uganda. So, the first thing we have to do is to remain connected. Guys, when we go out there as South Sudanese, before you settle in a place, please ask around. Sometimes I feel like we misuse social platform. We are on Facebook, we are on Instagram, on all this Twitter, but we do not really use it. The best you can do is just put comment somewhere out. Guys, I am settling in this place. What do I have to take note of? Where can I find a hospital? Where can I, especially if you do not know Uganda very well, ask around. Who can I find? Share with me. Please come to my private DM. Leave me a number of somebody that where can I buy things at a reasonable cost? We need to remain connected. Believe me, as out there, people don't care what you are going through or whether you are suffering. That's your problem. I remember one time somebody even asked me, "You're coming from South Sudan?" Yes. "Why is it that people there are fighting like this?" This is an immigration officer asking me. That means somehow people undermine us. People don't take us serious. So it is us to now, remain united and advise each other, guide each other here and there, and stand together to support ourselves. So before you settle in any place, whether in Uganda or any other country, when you just land to a place, you relocate, or you even gone for a visit for a very long period of time, the first thing you should do is to connect. Find out who else is there from your country. Connect. Ask questions. Where can I find this? What happens here? What is the crime rate in this area? What are the important phone numbers I should have in this place? Take note of that. Very important. Another thing we need to acknowledge is the fact that we are South Sudanese. That's the first thing. Acknowledge that. Don't pretend to be what you are not. You are a South Sudanese. That name comes with a lot of things. It comes with experiences of war. It comes with trauma. It comes with psychological issues. Accept that. Once you accept it, you now forge a way, move above this challenge. That's the first thing we should do as a South Sudanese. And then another thing is to forgive. Let's learn to forgive, okay? We forgive whatever it is and forget. It's difficult to forget, but forgive whatever it is that you think is your challenge. Because if you don't forgive and you don't forget about that, it holds you back. You don't think straight. You just have to believe that this is my situation. We are in it. We need to figure out how to work. Don't cry. Oh, now I am away from my children. What is going to happen? Okay, I do that as well. But I cry over it for 5 minutes. The other day I found a lady, and when she asked me about my children, I was tearing. I got emotional because I felt like, what's the point? My boys are now big. I want to go home and things like that. And then she reminded me and said, do you think if you go home, you will give them the life that they deserve? So that one called me to order and made me not to go and start whining and crying and blaming other person. I came back to order and I said, you know what? Whatever I am doing right now, I am helping my children so that they will also stand in a position to help the next generation. What we are doing right now, we are racing. There is this 4x4. It's a relay. Those people who know sports, like you are 4 people, you run and you pass on to somebody else and they run the race. Like you don't run the whole race by yourself. You run in stages. You run to a certain stage, somebody pick up from you and continue running like that. And you are rated based on all the effort that you have, the ones that were involved, you are rated as a team. That is what we are doing as South Sudanese. We need to hold ourselves, acknowledge that this is what we are inside right now. What can we do to move above it? The moment you do not accept any change, you cannot change. This is how we are going to survive. This is how we are going to rebuild this nation. So we are going to work together and move forward. The third thing that we have to be aware of is that not everybody in those countries that we are in that cares about what we go through. It is us who are going to push for it. There is this discrimination that is being placed on us. You find that you go to a market, the moment they see you and they study and they notice that you are a South Sudanese, they have this thinking that these people, they have money. Then you find that your rate is completely different. So be aware. As you go to the market, be sharp. Sometimes I don't even go myself. I find people who speak the language better and I send them so that they will negotiate at their level and I negotiate at the background. At the end of the day, I am not cheated in any way. So you need to maneuver, be aware of that silent discrimination and learn how to move around it. Why I say this is because also it was mentioned that there was electrical shock that was happening in that particular house because the family of the victim are renting. So they reported that probably to the landlord, but they didn't take them serious. Had it been that is a Ugandan, they will know what to do. But you being a South Sudanese, a foreigner, and you do not know anything, probably they will not take care of your complaint with seriousness. If you are trying to do something or you're asking for something or you feel like things are not being done the way you want it to be done, check with others what they have done in order to get that situation resolved. Because not everybody is going to run to your aid. So you need to be aware of that discrimination against South Sudanese and try to maneuver your way to ensure that it does not impact or it does not lead to a situation as this. Also, as South Sudanese, we need to learn to speak up. We have a communication problem. When we communicate, we are reactive in our communication. Like if something now happened, that is when we react. And when we react, we are reacting in a way that we are fighting. So people don't really pick the emergency in our voices. We need to take initiative in resolving our issues so that we don't now begin to rush when there is actual problem on the ground. What I'm saying is that if you talk to somebody about maybe water issue, toilet, plumbing issue, and you try to report and probably there is noise, whatever issues that you are facing that is affecting or impacting your lives in that house, the next person you can talk to, if you are not able to penetrate the right people who are supposed to resolve this issue, then you need to talk to LCs. We have LCs in Uganda. One good thing with Ugandans is that much as sometimes they might not really react in a way that you expect. Probably they are slow sometimes in the way they will take action into doing something. Okay? They do not like problems. That's one thing I know about Ugandans. So what you can do is go to LC. And the LCs, in most cases, they will help you. No matter what. Learn to handle your case diplomatically. Because when you start quarreling, shouting, sometimes people don't take you serious. So we need to change our strategy. Let's not be reactive. Let's take initiative in resolving our issues. Let's not wait until something goes wrong and then we now start panicking and solving our issues. And let's learn how to communicate effectively. That's another thing we need to do as South Sudanese. If we are going to survive out there, we need to take note of all this. And that is point number 4. The 5th one is to pay attention to our safety concerns. Before you enter a house, check that house and do not take risk. When there is money involved, a Ugandan will want to take that money and probably delay the service that they will give you. Generally, we love money. All of us, including us South Sudanese, but Ugandans, we love money. Okay? So, if someone gives you a house, please check. Check thoroughly. Make sure the water is running. Make sure the electricity, the wires, the cables are all operating very well. Don't just check from outside and they tell you, this one we are going to fix. Let them actually fix it. Because the moment they get the money, even me, if I get your money first, there is no way I'm going to respond. But if you have the money is on the other hand, and I don't have it yet, I will do everything in order to ensure that you get that money. But if I get the money first, why would I rush? I will not rush. I will take my time in order to get that money, but I will not really deliver the service as quickly as expected. People will deliver the service, but they will take their own time. If you feel like I have offended you as a Ugandan, because we know each other very well. I lived in Uganda for almost 25 years. So by character, I'm a Ugandan. Okay? I might be a South Sudanese by birth, but by character, I am a Ugandan, and I understand. I know how we do things in Uganda, and I also know how we do things in South Sudan. So you need to be conscious with your safety. Don't just, get involved into something. Somebody you can tell, this thing is okay. I remember one time we were at Didiswal, and I felt like that thing almost poured us down. And when I came down, I told the attendant, the person who was ushering people into that thing, I said, this thing is not okay. This thing is going to kill somebody someday. It didn't take 3 months. Somebody died on that swing, and they had to close Didiswal. This guy didn't care. He's like, have you finished? So if you finish, what is your problem? He ignored what I said. So it is you to now pay attention to your safety concerns. People don't care. You are in Uganda, you need to find a way of how to fend for yourself and your children. So pay attention to your safety concerns and be responsible in ensuring that it is resolved up to your expectation. So this brings us to the end of this video. I want to urge all of us to honor the memory of those that we have lost, and let us stand together. For those who know the countries in which our fellow South Sudanese are, let us try to raise awareness. Let us advocate for change. Let us stand together in unity in order to support one another as we fight the challenge that we are facing as a nation, as we rebuild our country. We struggle for survival in unity. So that is all for this video. If you find this podcast of value, please drop your thoughts in the comment section and best wishes for the loss to the families of the children that we have lost. Until then, bye.